You are heavily encouraged. You don't have to encourage me to stand up, but gives you for example. Okay? Starting the speech in 3, 2, 1, slowly. Panel, to save over 100 innocent lives, to save innocent victims, it is sometimes crucial to take extreme steps. Never been proud to propose. What are the steps in this evening? We have 4 levels of steps. First, a context clarification. We would trap or jail one innocent man in order to save.
Try one more.
Can I restart?
Yeah, sure. But
Timer.
Restart. You can hear me, so can I just speak like this?
no, audience, it's a fight also.
Vibes. Negative order. David was actually negative.
Right.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Restarting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panel, in a word, to save over 100 innocent lives, 100 victims, it is sometimes important to take extreme measures. Never be proud to propose. What are the setups in this evening? There are 4 layers of setup. What is the context? We would be trapping one innocent man or jailing one innocent man in order to save 100 victims and in order to prevent 180 people walking away from it, right? Second, there are what are the clarifications in this, right? These 150 men would be people who have previously committed some sort of grave crimes, right? This would be some local thief or some grave criminals, and we would be making sure that they do not have a future agency to recommit these crimes, right? Thirdly, what are our priorities? We want uphold sieges to uphold victim rights. Fourthly, why do we believe that we will, right? We believe we will because we prove that sieges remains functional in our side of the world, right? Sieges can successfully repatriate, rehabilitate, and have deterrence, right? Understand, when you have 180 people, when you have 180 people in one part of the world, you have to understand that a majority of these are grave criminals, and even if the majority are not, we have to at least have at least 10 of them are major criminals, right? Rapists, sexual offenders, human traffickers, right? These major criminals, right? In our words, at least these major 10 criminals get taken away, and society is better off, and victims are better off without the presence. With that, our first argument, we believe that this narrative will create a better safety system. Why do we believe that, right? First of all, understand the context of retribution. We have 100 people that are engaged. That means that we would more likely more than 100 victims. Right? This could look like 120, 130, even 200 victims, right? And they are autonomously perpetrated, right? Understand victim rights, right? Why do we have to put victim rights so high in this video? Victims are the people who are doing the most harm, right? The basic rights to be violated, the human autonomy to be snatched when they're going through any sort of crime, right? When they're facing any sort of crime from these people, right? The sadness, the mental pressure, they'll have their rights being taken, they'll go through physical harm, and at grave instances, they'll lose their lives or lose any sort of stability or happiness that they have because the crime is so grave, right? So why are the victims better in our side of the world, right? In our side of the world, they see their perpetrators going, in their side of the world, they see their perpetrators going on. In our side of the world, we do not allow them, right? In our side of the world, we tell them that we will hold their perpetrators, we'll get them to jail and we'll get them justice, right? In their side of the world, there will be distrust, right? In their side of the world, people would believe the siege is ineffective, the victims would get justice, and the mental and the emotional harm of victims would be extreme amounts, right? What does this mean? In their side of the world, teachers fails to stand up for the victims, teachers fails to punish the wrong person. These are the two fundamental duties that teachers have to fulfill, right? Understand how to consider rehabilitation. I want to know this stuff, right? When a child does a mistake, how does the child know that they did a mistake? They get punished by their parents, they get punished by people around, they don't get called out, right? And you know that you're doing a mistake, so two consequences, right? Your actions have consequences. So in our side of the world, when you get hold of the criminal, you try to get them in shape, it is showing that their actions will have consequences, right? No matter what the metric is, no matter who they're up against, They are in jail, they cannot do anything, they can only reflect on their present. Psychologically or through actions, in whatever aspect you understand this, the criminals get a chance to rehabilitate, the criminals get a chance to understand what they did, and the victims are far away from this criminal, the safer place, and the victims again returning, and the most important stakeholders in this debate, right? I would like to in some way understand the likelihood, right? People, due to knowing that the victims exist, also know that there are criminals, and these criminals, knowing that they are guilty, all people in society would feel unsafe, the victims themselves would feel unsafe, right? This is not just 1, 2, 3 criminals, right? It's like 100 guilty people walking free in the society. That is true. There are like too many criminals, too many evil people just walking, right? On likelihood, it is easier to find out these guilty people and you can get them to jail. But on the comparative, if you jail someone that is innocent, right? You first allow 100 guilty people to walk free in society and then you make people still answer, right? At the same time, the innocent person going to jail is unlikely that people who believe that the person is innocent, the person saying being safe, we believe that it is unlikely that the person going to jail would, the innocent person going to jail would gain much or lose much, right? There, the importance of this person is secondary compared to the rights of victims, right? Victims are the most important, right? People would bat an eye to the innocent person, people would bat an eye to if they are safe, if they are not safe. But people who care about the victims that in this case, each years would be harmed and victims themselves would be harmed, right? On scale, understand what the motion says. The motion clearly says it, 1:100, right? It's a clear ratio. One person, take one person, or get 100 people acquitted of their crimes, right? We tell you on scale it's important that you take 100 criminals into jail, right? Why so? Because you have 100 victims, right? Now side of the world, 100 criminals, 100 victims. We save lives, right? We get 100 criminals, immediately we have it and goes to turn, and then side of the world, you have 100 people running free, right? Just to save one victim. But we feel that is unimportant when compared to 120 lives. All the victims are trying to run the principle whether lives are important and the one person is inherently important. Their life and their autonomy is inherently important. Understand? They are comparing that one life to 120 lives, right? Victims' lives are equally important. The only way they can win this debate is they come up here and say that the 100 plus, 120 plus victims that are suffering because of these guilty people, their lives, their entire lives, and then everything that they have gets accumulated, and somehow the one person is still more important than 100 people, right? We believe it's absolutely unlikely that 120 victims would ever be less important than one person, right? On magnitude, we tell you in our world, people trust CJS more, victims trust CJS more, right? Before that,
Assuming in your side of the world, 100 people have died in a war, will we really save, like, will we really like sacrifice the life of one people just to use the sacrifice?
they talk about how in war one person can be used as a shield to save 100 people. Even in this case, yes, it's important. Again, on the metric of life, right? 100 lives, 1% life, right? Everybody is innocent. How much do you save? 100 lives for one life, right? It is not possible in any way to save one life, right? This is why when we talk about the planes crashing or any sort of situation where we have captains, right? Captains, they just sacrifice their life in order to save the passengers and planes, right? Because 100 lives are again more important than one life, right? We will know all three skills. We will because we tell you that the CCS has a principle right to help people that are sexy over the Labrador and also Labrador insurance, right? We tell you that now in the world, we save the lives of 100, 120 victims, even if at the period of one life, it's worth it because
Hello, take it. Before I start, a huge shout out to Bhai for introducing me to debating in the first place. Thanks to all the organizers, thanks to BDC, all the debaters and the judges who making viewers successful. I have no preferred pronouns and I'll be starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Jesus Christ took the sins of every single man when he died. Did crime stop? No, they did not. At their best case, they reduce 100 criminals, but 50 out of them get out of it because they have the lobbying power. This debate is about whether or not we are sacrificing one innocent man for these 100 men living free. Think about this one innocent person. How are they? If they probably wake up, eat their food, leave their family and their spouse, and they go to their job, do their work responsibly, come home, meet their beautiful spouse, and go to sleep. This person wakes up one day and are now convicted as a criminal, which they are not liable on, which they did not commit in the very first place, and this is how a person government work looks like, because they are making one person go through all these sufferings that one criminal should have gone through. This is what government wants. Human life has its own unique value. This is something that we care about. Before I move on to our concepts, some protocols. Here talks about how they want to jail one innocent man with 100 others, and they probably make it look like it's not probably that higher level of crimes, and they say 100 victims through this. Understand that? They talk about CJS a lot, and they include CJS by this. They also feel that CJS is not trusted, and that is the whole idea. Before I move on, I'll try to describe this. They talk about how huge amount of victims are now protected. They do not give me any sort of constructive or mechanism on how, like, all the crimes just stop happening just because you made 100 people go to jail. All these crimes keep on happening because crimes just don't stop because you put 100 men to jail, because there are thousands and lakhs of criminals and they just keep on committing crimes. And while you do that, you also put one single man who is innocent, who you make him go to jail. This reduces all the trust that you talk about that you have on CJS. Because you don't have trust on CJS. When you see in the society, someone who you probably respect, someone you probably care about, is now going to jail just because they did not do anything in the first place. This is something that does destroy that all trust on CJS. Before then about your action, now you don't have consequences. People now also think that even if you don't do anything, you do face consequences which are not liable. This is something that is problematic. Understand that you have to protect victims. They try to exclusively that they stop a lot of crime. That is not exclusive. We still have CJS system on our side. But what we can do, if we value one single life or one single person man's life over say 100 men going to jail. Understand that? What is our ideas? First, we just have one single life. We have to tell you that this one innocent man does not deserve jail time for nothing that he did, and we like even if these victims, these criminals are shooting convicted, this one innocent man is more important or as equal as that. Understand that? All of the everything that talk about are not contingent. Understand? Firstly, if a woman was raped and they did not probably remember any of the consequences or any of the harms that were made to this one victim of rape, they probably can think that these rapists does not deserve justice, or this person who was the victim of rape does not deserve justice. On their side, what do they do? If one person who does not medicine to cancer is now protected if they now commit rape, how does that look like? They probably care about benefits or health benefits so much. Just because one person can cure cancer, they also legitimize their action of rape too. that is problematic because they care about these benefits so much, which is not something we care about because we want to protect innocent people. We want to protect innocent people on our side and they do not really care about. Secondly, like these people walk around us all the time. If you look like, if you just look at the society, you probably have a lot of people walking around you. Why it is simply exclusive that you are going to be sending 100 men to jail and not protecting one single man is just contradicts all of the ideas on how serious is so protective and how it helps them. When one innocent person goes to jail, they are not obligated to go through all these processes of justice to be done in the first place. They are not someone who committed any of it. They are not someone who walked into jail without any sort of reason. This is what they prefer on the other side of the world. What do we tell you? If you want to win a war, do you use humans as human shit? No, you do. Because it's horrendous. Just because someone forgot about it, like really back to all idea, just because someone forgot about it does not mean they don't deserve justice because one victim of it does deserve justice even if they forgot all of the like by some hypothetical, if they forgot all of the traumas that they went through, if they forgot all of the physical pain that they went through during the day, it is not justified to not give that person justice just because that one person who raped this person was a cure of cancer person. This is what the world is like because they care about these benefits so much. Moving on. 100 people from one different person who are making suffer for something that they never did in the very first place. This is problematic. Why we do this way is through this way where we prove to you that this one person never wanted to face this consequence in the first place. It is the same reason where the United States hired Nazi scientists to create some medicines for their own development. This is problematic because this is not justified. These are people who should not be living free air. These are people who are not someone you use for your own benefit. This is what they care about because they only care about the benefits that they get. Moving on. Every human has their own important value. Not value that makes you, it puts you in a certain situation because just if I look.
The state alongside the state and the criminal justice system alike has the obligation to make sure it caters to the majority because that's where maximization of output happens. Cater to that.
Just because you put one innocent person to jail and put like 99 others in that same jail, you do not really protect all sorts of victims that you always had or all sorts of criminals that keep on happening just because you put one person into jail with 99 others who are probably criminals. This is not a solution to all of the crimes that keep on happening on your side. This does not do justice to the system. If you want to make the system look good, you have to do better. You have to find an option, not putting one innocent person to go to jail. We always have CJs on our side. This is not something that they only exclusively have. Like CJs does not just simply go away just because we want to one innocent person. Lastly, to conclude, we want to tell you that this one single innocent person has their own intrinsic value from the get-go. This person never wanted to go through this process ever in their life. They probably are someone who has like a family to cater to. They probably are the only breadwinner, and this person is very important for all of the world.
Now, thank you very much for the speech. Before the PA1. Okay, towards the audience. We are here to witness the open grand final of the biggest national tournament of the country. Can we please be respectful and respect the teams for making it this far and be quiet and silent for just 1 hour? Thank you.
I don't think escape, a form of escape is going to sorry. getting emotional because there's no one to love. I'd like to thank my mother for birthing me, so I can thank you at this point. The IBC identifiers will know that reference. T-shirts, POI purposes are these types. Start with speech. Read a bad I guess. Speech starts on my next word. I want to talk about the principle of upholding justice as a civilization, right? So, the purpose of the criminal justice system is to reduce harm in the first place. Well, because that's what it was made for. But realize, it can never provide absolute justice. The criminal justice system is always an approximation of absolute justice because we as a society are simply too chaotic for absolute justice to exist, right? So, how does the criminal justice system provide an approximation of justice? Two ways. Firstly, it maximizes reparations to victims, and secondly, it minimizes harms committed by the perpetrator. Right? So, the criminal justice system is actually just a defense mechanism against anarchy itself. So, because when one person can be wrong, any one of us can be wrong, and this is a threat to the order of society. If everyone feels that they can be wrong, like there is no order, right? So we need the deterrence of the criminal justice system. So this is a way to quantify arbitrary things like chaos, like entropy, and bring some semblance of order and enforce the law. Now the idea here is that we do the righter thing out of two wrong things. Because understand that for the purposes of this motion, there is no good decision, right? Either one person is getting jail forever, or 100 people who are guilty are being free. But there is one less bad decision. That is made on our side. Because if our definition of justice goes uncontested in this debate, then according to the concept of justice itself, our side is more just. Our side is more right. Right? So, before I move on to my detailed extensions, a few pieces of rebuttal. Firstly, they ask the question of how people will still, they tell us that people will still commit crimes on our side. Two levels of responses. Firstly, it's still just it's still that one person loses, they tell us that people will still commit crimes on our side and people will still lose trust in the CJS, right? But my two responses are, firstly, it's still one person losing trust in the CJS versus 100 people losing trust. And we think that overall this is worse than the CJS and more people lose trust. But secondly, the government will definitely come up with some way to frame this person that they are creating, right? So it's going to look like this person, like the government actually presenting this trial as fair, as genuine, and people are inclined to believe that, and the perception of the criminal justice system won't be harmed because the people think the innocent person was actually a perpetrator. Right? So, next they tell us that we don't get any mechanism for stopping criminals. Realize the mechanism of how we have this crime is to put the criminals in jail, take away their economy, and make sure they don't commit any more crimes. Right? So, I think that's the chunk of the responses dealt with. To my vertical extension, which is fourfold. Firstly, on perpetrators. Secondly, on victims. Thirdly, on how victims' associates react. And fourthly, on how perpetrator associates react. So, firstly, on victims and secondly, on victims and perpetrators. On deterrence, realize that the perpetrator, 100 perpetrators in this case, got away with the crime. They got away with violating the law. There was no consequence to the sanction. There was no rehabilitation, there was no mechanism for deterrence. They did not have to spend a single day in jail. They did not have to receive any kind of repercussion. They were not fined, they were not tried, nothing like that. So, I find it very likely that given that they got away with it once, there is a precedent now that they just get away with it, right? So they are equally very likely to do it again, right? So, as a result, when 100 people on their side gets away with commit a crime, that means there are just more crimes happening. More people think that they can get away with committing crimes in the first place, right? So the number of victims, which was originally maybe 100 or 120, as said by Ariana, but jumps from 120 to more in the long term, to like 200 or 400 or even more, because more criminals just roam the world now. Now, this also leads to worse crimes because no harm is received upon committing a crime. So, since there was no consequence, you can think like once you do something, it's easier to do that thing again, right? They say killing once makes the process easier. So it's easier to commit worse crimes on their side by these criminals that are let go, right? Secondly, on victims like this obviously not to victims, but thirdly on like victims associates, realize that when the victims feel like injustice was done to them, they think that the CJS is not effective. I must take the law into my own hands now, given that the law has failed me, especially in the case of severe crimes like rape, like murder, right? So vigilante justice happens more on their side and in a much worse way because the nature of the crimes will be worse. But if the nature of the crime was so severe, like I mentioned before, that those people who are victims will take justice into their own hands, and this is bad because this is justice done. This is not really justice, this is revenge. A very core thing in your brain that leads you to act irrationally, right? So, when these vigilantes are trying to take justice into their own hands, not only will they be disproportionate because you're harming the perpetrator more than they deserve to be, but also this is not rehabilitative. So, no criminals actually walk away from the process well, right? But, secondly, on the perpetrators associates, or people who just observe the perpetrators in general, realize that when people know someone who got away with murder or got away with robbing a bank, they'll be more inclined to commit crimes further because you observe firsthand that this is something very easy to get away with. So the overall perception of the CJS as this indomitable body of law and order is kind of weakened to a great extent because it's 100 people who got away with it and people saw them or people saw someone who got away with things. Bad things, or know someone who got away with bad things, right? So even in the worst case, where all the criminals are petty offenders, this causes massive anarchy because more crimes are committed in a grand scale. Lastly, on the point of suffering, realize, before I go to the point of suffering,
even when your side, all of these sides have their own inherent value, are you still willing to sacrifice that one inherent value in your side, which has its own unique value as well?
I don't think it's proper. Yes, we are willing to do that, but I don't think you can just throw around terms like value of life and extend to the physical way because there are actual reasons why things happen, right? So, what I was talking about, from the point of suffering, realize that even if one person suffers his entire life in prison, this is a very big thing, 100 criminals still have 100 victims, bare minimum, if not more, because of the cascading effect that we talked about in our human requirements, right? So, even if one of those was a rapist or a murderer, which is very likely statistically, that results in a broken family, right? The victim is changed forever, and so are the people that are closest to the victim, right? But on our side, at least there was justice done to all these people. At least they feel some sense of closure. At least they feel like order was brought back, and the law saved them or afforded them whatever could be done in this horrible situation. I want to emphasize the importance of closure here. Family that has been destroyed by one person externally. So many people's lives are worse off. Or one person's life is either changed forever or gone in the first place. When you don't have justice, or you're constantly plagued by that idea that it can happen again to someone close to you, or even to yourself, that this is a massive harm to you. This will traumatize you for the rest of your life and limit every single form of autonomy that you exercise. It will limit everything that you can do as a human being if you're constantly plagued by these thoughts. We uphold justice to its greatest extent on our side. So, proposition.
Thank the Deputy Prime Minister for their speech. Deputy Leader for their here.
Hello, am I very audible? Alright, just give me a moment. Hello. Assuming I'm very audible, before I start my speech, I just want to emphasize this entire ride has been insane, and I can never imagine making it. Right. This is probably going to be my last video in 100. These two people. Thank you, Hasnat. Thank you, Alif, very much. Thank you other people. First of all, to my coach, Dr. Shadman. Thank you very much. And secondarily, to Hasnat, obviously, getting into debate, calling me up for every single round, trying to help me as the best as he possibly could. But thank you to the people that have helped us get to this point. Moving on, I'll be starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panel, understand, this debate was never about futility because we agree sufficiently to prove you that, but we also tell you, I did this speech and also prove you why our principle is better, but also because they have a huge say about criminal justice system, why that is probably better on our side of the world. Here's the thing, but before any of that, however, they also told me that in their model, they will just have the innocent person be considered guilty or part. So we are now establishing cases as well on their side of the world, which I just don't understand. But moving on, there is both the principle of retribution, something that will not be possible. Here's the thing, sure, some of these criminals may have been off, although most of them will probably be avoiding taxes or something. But let's say they're like the worst of people in the first. Sure, these victims have been harmed, but what about the right of retribution of the innocent man? Would you then punish the people that you wrong? Would you then punish the people that you then have saved? You know, this is the principle that on their side they run. Because this person is innocent and you're now paying them, so this person also needs to get some level of revenge. So then the people that you say, they have to be harmed according to their principle of retribution. It essentially enters some people on loophole, which they have to fully clarify to me. But second of all, about the principle of the guilty people, here's the thing. A majority of these people, the way they turned out their upbringing, etc., would also be guiding blame towards the railway act, towards the government that had an incentive to build them up on these people. Are these individuals not victims of their own circumstances as well? Are these individuals not victims of the government because they failed them? Because according to your logic, because we should be saving victims, we should also be saving these guilty people. Because that's society, this is what they are running with. Right? It is a very contradictory case. And because if we take the logic and if we assume this is why we should not think, then if we assume these people to be victims as well, then we tell you that the fact that she also have also be things for them. But also, here's the thing, the moment in time, the victims, these individuals on your side of victims, these people realize that the world is forsaken them. But also, the innocent man completely loses trust in the world. Because he believes that the entire world is forsaken. Right? These people think that this one instance is enough to shatter trust in the criminal justice system. Because once you realize that one person, one innocent man had an entire case fabricated towards it, then the principle of that criminal justice system essentially fails. Because the criminal justice system was built to protect every single person, not just people that you like or dislike, not just people that you think are criminals or are criminals, but to protect every single person on a very fair measure. The moment in time the criminal justice system fails to do any of that, we tell you the criminal justice system on their side has failed. But also, if people do crimes, I'm sure there are also ways to stop crime, legal justice, the police, cops, whatever. We are not taking. So, moving on to our principle of innocence, right? We tell you, you're taking this innocent man, you're forcing him to carry your sins, a burden he was never obligated to using a man today as a means to an end. And we tell you, using people as a means to an end is horrible. Because what happens when this principle does not exist? Because the moment in time that you start, you are allowed to do whatever you want for your own goal, you start telling people to justify other things. Imagine a man who is like very smart and literally cure cancer, but have harmed the woman, but rape the woman. Do you then, as a utilitarian, say the man who could cure cancer on your side of the world, they forward? And that is the exact logic the US military used when they recruited Nazi scientists for scientific advancements after World War II. This is the kind of rhetoric that they start to use. You start using people as human shields so that you can win a war. Something they conceive is something awful, but on their show, something that they are completely okay with. Now, I don't think this is a very strong language here. Please hear me. There is something, there is a thought experience called the rape harm principle. Imagine yourself as a woman. You get raped. This is horrible, right? But you also as a person have no memory of it all. You are not hard on it physically, mentally, any capacity. You live life as if nothing has changed. So in your circle, after that, nothing has changed. The utilitarian will tell you that hey, because nothing has changed and utilitarian will get changed, then that means this woman was not harmed. Well, even if it's actually good because the rapist probably was some level of benefit, right? It's not a horrible way to think about it, but the utilitarian will justify it because no one was harmed. But we as human beings and we as people with principles say, when a person is raped, that is awful and we should condemn it as such. The utilitarian has absolutely no moral. As long as that number whatever, they tell you this is all the good. Okay? That innocent man represents morality and principle. Because the moment in time you abandon them, the world you create is a world where no innocent people can exist. A world where you have the right to turn over the innocence of a man. The man who has spent his entire life trying to be innocent, doing good things, having good family. But in their side of the world, you have overturned that because of your own incentives, because of your own growth. Or they have created a world where essentially guilty people have more importance than innocent people. They will not wait and say, not taken. So here's the thing. The world is time period, the world is going to be time period anyway. But the harm that is going to be done is much greater than the innocent man. Why is this? Because the guilty person has probably seen here is also a lot of things, has probably seen a lot of horrible things. But the innocent person, he has to go to see jail. This man is going to be treated awful. Then that person becomes a victim. Someone you won't have to protect on your side because you protect them. But what then happens is this person is a victim. They believe the entire world is forsaking them, and then he has no reason to lose. He has nothing to lose anymore, not taken. He has nothing to lose, which then means he does whatever, and then he also thinks that he has the right to harm other people's dignity, which means that he then becomes an awful person. Again, another loophole on their side of the world. People should not have their rights overturned, because the moment in time your rights are overturned, there is nothing stopping you from being a horrible person. You can argue this way on as many utilitarian lectures as you want to, but it never stops your friend. Because we tell you this debate never should have been judged on utilitarian lectures to begin with. Because utilitarians, if they have to justify rape, they will do it. If they have to justify Nazis, they will do it. If they have to justify even genocide, if they have to justify even using a shield in during war, they will do it. Principles do not allow you to do that. Without these explicit principles, the world that you live in becomes much more lawful. A world where people come in and tell you that rape is okay because there has been no tangible harm. Because that's what matters is tangible. For all of those reasons, we tell you both sides opposition.
The House thanks the Deputy Leader of Opposition for concluding the constructive part of this debate. Before calling government whip, let's take a 5-minute break for the call to prayer together. Upper Bhai, please come forward.
कॉन्फिडेंटली फोन भी ना होगा तो पीछे पर से जाकर चलाना
AFC, are you here?
Does this work? Yeah. I actually have four shout-outs here. First shout-out, a big thank you to Mastermind. They're the ones that started the day. Thank you for watching and second shout-out, big shout-out to Proto. He's the one who teamed up with internationally for like 7 tournament stuff. You're doing great work today. Third shout-out, Salman Sandi. I teamed up with him last year. My guy had a breakup, and that's the reason I was able to do a tournament from Mastermind. So I'm glad he got down. Fourth shout-out, a massive shout-out to Masterclass. That's because of the emotional support you give me. Thank you very much. These four shout-outs are for you. I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1, go. The first thing I'll do is take out the principle flash. 3 principles that still have not gotten any response. First, the CGS principle that applies to maximizing efficiency by actually punching the number of people that are within the space. 2, a principle and state obligation of making sure that you limit harm to the first priority in general so that you don't have more harm happening. The mechanism of more harm happening was simple. 1, lower attendance. 2, agency of these people not being in a way they still have the agency and ability to do more harm in the future. This is something they still haven't given to. Meaning this was stands. But 3, in terms of quantification, I just think we made the system easy for the system to choose in case of the decision for them. Because realize, when you criminal justice already quantifies arbitrary stuff. This is based on proportionality, like how bad a crime is, and you get more sentencing if the crime is bad. The thing is, you cannot really put on a scale and measure how much a crime is favored. You can just do it on intuition. But now the criminal justice system lays it out for you, 100 versus 1. So I think for the criminal justice system, it's a principally correct thing to offer and approach. 4, Zeedan's principle complicates itself. So here's the principle thing. Victims are like state failure. Okay, don't punish victims. I don't get your point. But that's the whole great example. First, we totally think that this person should be mentally prosecuted for the rape he committed. But the thing is, on their side of the world, people then say, this is state failure. I think they don't punish the victim. This one, they went to a cancer, but two, nobody found out. But see, this is state failure in general. So they're the ones who don't punish the rape victim. I don't know why that's attached. But 2, on the suffering, online, the cash of suffering is to which one has more suffering. This is the cash where I lay out their principle of true life. But before that, why is suffering worse than outside the world? I just want you to intuition about one thing. Their whole point was trust. On his side of the world, I can see the innocent man probably loses the amount of trust. But our failure is to attack. Because the government still needs to take it to trial. The government still needs to show proper reasoning in terms of on paper. Meaning, people think that this person is guilty, meaning the government trusts the lives of us. But in general, suffering is bad. Realize that on both sides people suffer. On our side of the world, an innocent man suffers. It's just one innocent man. But on their side of the world, they can see this. The victims suffer. 1, why do we care about the victims the most? Because of 2 reasons. First, they're the most marginalized people because they're talking in the car. But 2, in terms of the mental disorder, oftentimes after perpetration they're not doing well. That's why they're the most marginalized, and that's why we categorize vulnerable stakeholders as a stakeholder that matters most of the day. That is because they're the most vulnerable. But now this is straight up on their side of the world. I am going to now mathematically show to you that why they don't work. Let's just say it's a 0.1 on scale. First, on scale, we simply wait on scale. On it's 0.1 to like 1, which is on their side of the world. 0.1 into 200, which is for the 200 victims, is equals to 20, and their 1 remains to 1. So I think this in general, mathematically this proves the efficacy of their case. Try and make a number nice way. But in general, their whole point is now value of life over value of suffering. First, I've already told you that suffering is tragic. If not greater or not, the number of people that are suffering because of the lack of preparation. But 2, the way to come out of PLO. After that, this is the paper of information. And Rishi currently reverses this thing. I'm assuming that government, PLO, will have the responsibility to weigh this out. Even if it's integral to their case. Opposition is way too late. Even I weigh this much and actually do this way. But that's the best case scenario. That case of like, principle of punishing the guilty washes out the principle of not punishing the guilty. So that's how they work. Even when you take the principle as a very the principle wash all the point of view. Because like, you punish the guilty, you don't punish the criminal. So it's a wash there. But all the other principles that we have, maximizing efficiency, criminal state's obligation, the quantifying of RPA, all 3 of these principles apply on our side of the world. Our principle washes out there, but the 3
bad way important because the way to not respond to utility is way out utility. Principle is more important. And it doesn't engage with utility. I just think opposition way was too late because we've been like debating utility from the very get-go and we still haven't got any response on utility. Therefore, I still think we should credit it over, if not over, alongside principle. Why is utility much better on our side of the world? First, wait, I have to speak out. Yes, I have to reach. First, on retribution. One, perpetrators understand that they already got away once. They're likely to commit future crimes because they got away once. Why is this unique? One, you got away once. I might try a bigger crime because I got away once. But two, I might commit more crimes because I got away once. On net crime increases. Why is crime less on our side of the world compared to? Because you understand the consequences of your action and when you like contemplate when you're in jail. Because if it goes to you have to think about what you did, which got you here. Three, deterrence. Four things here, which none of them have gotten response. First, perpetrators engage in homes and just talked about. Two, victims realize that they haven't gotten justice, so they either lose trust or they take justice into their own hands, lead to officers and judicial. No responses on this. Three, if it's a massive crime like hate or like hate crime, for example, rape, murder, or whatever, people or associates of the victims feel like they were harmed as well. If somebody so proximate to them was harmed, meaning there is an incentive to pick up justice on your own hand, but also people close to the victim also lose the amount of trust they have. Even trust is greater on outside the world because 100 people still feel like the CJS is effective alongside their peers. But on their side, the world is lesser. First, on one people, people despite being close to your peers, some of them won't buy the like a citizen because the government sees some arbitrary reasoning. Meaning you still have greater trust on ours. Why do we get this? First, two reasons. One, on the defense mechanism, we specifically identified the criminal justice system to be a defense mechanism to have it going on because of pain apprehension. This got no response. Given that we have no response on this, the principle of the criminal justice system is still better outside the world on both principle and utility. But two, I've already talked about the arbitrariness and how we quantify arbitrary. I'm pretty sure the best way to quantify is outside the world with the proposition. But how do we get solve this crime? So the opposition force was in general that hate crimes continue to happen when you have cases. How I know the crime? One, deterrent that these criminals cannot do it in the future. Two, fears of the criminals on your side of the world think, he was doing it. Pretty nice, might try one. Three, victims think that there is no correct justice in the country. Thereby they pick up the law in their own hand. Four, victims are like people that are proximate to them also like commit the crimes. So in general, the mechanism is fourfold. That there are four stakeholders in the state that will commit more crimes because of not punishing the other people. So given that the principle of the criminal justice system is to like reduce the amount of harm that can happen and have the greatest amount of retribution, it is only principally correct to go on our side of the world, given that we showed you that we're a better law. And what do I have here? Okay, so cool. Application. I still don't know as to why the obligation of the world care about this one person. I agree. The suffering of the one person is immense. But I'm still having to figure out even the magnitude of things. What is the debate going to be judged on then? One, a principle. We have got 5 principles. We washed out one one, 4 principles and no rebuttals till now. Like 2 speakers spoke. Opposition by it's too late. We conquered 4 principles. But on the whole thing of principle over utility, we still have a massive demand on utility. Even if this is a principle heavy weight, utility will get deliberation. The only way to get utility currently is to get the entire chain of utility to us because we not only showed mechanism, we also showed that there was no engagement on this. I now realize that I haven't taken up point and I'm actually scared of the ballot. But I'm pretty sure I clear up here on that. So I think I'll go. So in general, why do we then have the ballot at the end of the day? One, on principle, we show that lesser crimes happen at the end of the day. That is plenty of people realize. I will probably need jail. Yes, I know I will encourage that. But I successfully was able to pay out by one person's economy and one person's time to live is at equal value of potential for the voluntary cases that you do have to jail for. And thereby for levels and for Hasnat, I am very proud.
Now, thank the government for their speech, opposition, wait, before we do.
সরে যাবে, তো এটার ভলিউম একটু বাড়াই।
And probably this guy who always is the final that I don't know. Starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. And I won't directly engage in any of the lectures in BDC. I'll just try to prove that why the idea of every single individual with his own unique value or own inherent value is something that is beyond any principle of this debate or any unity of this debate. I will just simply prove that, and then I'll just prove give me that principle of heart, and then I'll prove that one simply in this debate by that one single flash. Giving me the idea that why see every single person has his own inherent value. Note that we grew as a person, and then we obviously develop skills and uniqueness around us. Every individual has its own unique value because they have their own uniqueness to start with, that we don't need to sacrifice. Sure, in their side of the world, 100 people might die, but these 100 people have their own inherent value to start with. But that doesn't simply mean that, because with 100 inherent value, you are going to sacrifice that one value, and who is innocent, has done nothing in their life, and now you are putting them in the worst possible life to start with. It has never been wrong. This individual has probably lived a very normal life, going into his office, now doing work, and then sitting on a cup of tea, and then just having the best possible life till the average dimension to start with. But in their side of the world, this one individual is suffering every single time, even if he has done nothing, while this 100 individuals are roaming around. Even those 100 individuals are doing crimes, those 100 individuals who are dying on the street have their own inherent different value that you cannot be compared with that one person who is actually suffering in the very first place. Because one, he has his own uniqueness, two, he has his own unique life to start with, but also three, he is inherently not guilty for anything that he has done, but he has to suffer every single day. This suffering is something that he never deserved in his entire life, which is highly problematic factor. And that's the reason why we don't want any solution, we don't ask for any solution, nor we have the burden to prove that why we have a solution in our side of the world. We just need to prove that why we don't want that one individual to suffer every single day in our side of the world till his death, which is problematic to start with. And that is the reason why this one individual, he has no right to suffer. But also, he has another burden to deal with. The person has to deal with the burden of government failure in their side. Not that, in their side, government is the biggest failure. Why? Because they paid to deal with those 100 criminals, and now they are obviously taking this one innocent person to the crime, to the jail, and now have to deal with all these things, which is problematic to start with. Note that, even if I do care that government is so successful entity in their side, still, that one individual has his own inherent value or inherent life to start with. We have no means, have the right, because he has his own life, he has his own way of enjoying his life, that you cannot be taken away from Indian life to start with, which is also problematic factor. I do not really care any of the impacts of justice, I don't really care any of the impacts of how much crime in their side do really happen, but the problem still stays. Do you really have that value? Is that one unique individual to start with? Because the only burden we push on government side again and again and again, still no answer. Because they only engage in the principles of why there should be justice. They only engage in the principle of why there should be development. Every individual has more individuals of justice in their side of the world. I do agree with this idea. Still, there is no single response that why it is justified, why that one single individual has no inherent value or right or value to start with that he needs to be sacrificed in the very first place. Even if the government dies, still, that is a problem that even if the government is a failure, even if the situation is a failure, even if there are problems going on, crimes going on, still, the individual has his own right to enjoy his own life established. And that is the reason why we take that right, which is problematic. We don't care about any other argument or any other activity that might happen, and then wash out every other impact of them. Because in the very beginning of Alif's speech, we never took the inherent burden to given utility or to show why utility in our side exists. Because only one argument, that is why in every single individual has their value. We are saying this value in our side of the world because that one individual is safe, because that one individual can enjoy the average life to start with. And that is the only reason why Wait that out doesn't actually mean that you're going to sacrifice that one person who has done nothing. You never answer that. This is the problem that if government justifies the idea or says that it is principally justified to actually sacrifice that one life or actually get people the worst possible life possible, and it's actually principally justified, they can agree with the idea that oh, it's okay to have this one life in jail and rot every single day. No, they never always prove this idea, and there is a simple reason to bring this debate because there is only burden to take from the very beginning of this debate. And guess what? We just need to prove that one individual, one single individual has his own each and every unique value to start with. And that is the reason why we bring this debate because it proves the conclusion that one individual has his own unique aim, but two is innocent, but three, as an individual is suffering, this person has his own nature, life, enjoyment to start with. And that is the reason why he has no idea, he has no right, anyone has no right to take his enjoyment, one, but take his own uniqueness or his life to start with, where he is not the person of duty to start with. Even if 100% dies, that person is not the responsible to defend of 100% or to take the burden of this 100% to start with. Nor he has the burden to take the burden of this 100 individual, guilty individuals to start with. And that is the simple reason why we can live on the virtue of this principle to start with. That each and one individual has its own, I won't take it. It has its own unique value to start with. Meaning the principle of harm. Note that the principle of harm is something that is less valuable than the idea of individuals and their own life. Note that in their side of the world, individuals might have their own unique value. We agree with it. But this crime is being caused by other individuals who are working around these vehicles. And this is not the burden of the one individual who is not responsible for their crime. And that is the reason why we feel that individual who is not back to this sort of thing does not have any single problem, any single responsibility to obviously work in the jail every single day of his life. Even if you have not agreed with their idea that it was about 1 or 2 months, this is just about every single day of the entire rest of the life, which obviously gives him no right, no basic right, but also no family to see, and it deserves to his family, all of these things, which always decides his life and decides everything, the enjoyment and everything, to take away that from the very beginning. And that is the reason why this one entity has to have, or even to prove that one individual has its value and cannot be taken away. That is the reason why that 100 individual, even if the obvious time, doesn't be back for us. And that is the reason why we simply do the virtue of this principle to start with. And that is the reason why we do this debate. Why opposition now doesn't bring this debate? Because they simply fail to prove you that why their side, even if one individual can be sacrificed and it is principally justified, which is the only burden to push them again and again, but still they don't really engage with any of it, not to prove that why it is not their burden to prove. That is the reason why the burden still stays and still in this way on the virtue of this idea.
Now, thank you, opposition. We're calling upon opposition reply. Guys, we have 8 more minutes of speeches left. Can I expect the bare minimum for you guys to keep quiet?
Alright, I assume I'm audible. Starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panel, it is sufficient reason as to why this debate should not have been judged on their utilitarian metrics. But even if it is, let us just talk about their utility of like their parents of the not of like stopping crime or whatever. The myth that they give me is that oh look, we do not read for people for guilty. They have committed horrible crimes. So because there is still this memory in prison, so crimes won't take place. But like I'm pretty sure the world is pretty awful. Then in comparison to how awful the world is and how many criminals exist in the current time, how much does crime really reduce? So they grant them from money. I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen in the world. So also, moving on to the principle of retribution. So here's the thing. If you assign a government, one, to stop the person who start helping the victim, the people who have been harmed, then you also must help the person who is innocent, because that man is innocent, deserves some level of retribution as well. That man is a victim, they have made him a victim of the crime that he did. He was an innocent person, you did have to give him these negations so that you could have 100 men in jail, so that you could get your own goal, so that you have used him as an instrument. They have to justify why this person was obligated to take on the sins of other people. Here's the thing, Jesus Christ did not chose to take on the sins of other people voluntarily. This person did not. Jesus Christ gets a glorification because of the fact that he consented to it. This person did not. All you do is crucify a man who did not ask for it. All you do is crucify a man who was just treated awfully. This is what happens inside government. Also, this person also has a family. They also have loved ones. Are they not victims? Are you not going to give it to them as well? Does your criminal justice system also not give them justice? For this person, here's the thing. Because of the fact that this is inherently contradictory, the principle cannot work. Because for principles to be applied, they must be universally applicable. The moment that a principle is not universally applicable, they are no longer principles. So if the principle does not stand, then the fact that it does not either. The fact is, if you want to go to prison, you already have a big to not do crime again. You really don't deter anything. But also, we have the structure reason as to what happens. The moment you take the principle of innocence, the principle of having your dating on the principle of being forced to do all of these things happen. A word where your people can use it as a human shield so that you can play war. A word where people can use it however you want to get whatever goals that they want to get. A word where you have to say no right, no way to defend yourself. Because of the fact that you don't have the principles inherently should never have been weighed on human intervention. Because the utilitarian will always find some way, some level of message. If they can sell their own family for money, the utilitarian will justify it. That is just how utilitarian are. Utilitarian is. For most in the world where people will these principles is significantly worse reward will be what to live in. Please both side opposition.
Thank you, opposition reply. Calling upon government reply to conclude this debate.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. So, the first glaring problem with opposition face is that there is absolutely zero engagement with our utilitarian arguments. But even as they not only did they not engage with the principle clash, but they also try to weigh the value of the principle clash to justify taking this debate. And I'll show you why. Our utilitarian arguments themselves also have implications on the principle clash itself. Okay, so we have realized that all of it is gone uncontested throughout many minutes of their speeches. So all of it still stands. So on that principle, they just gave us a very underfleshed principle, which Tauhid already raised down. But let's examine exactly why it doesn't make sense. They just say that human beings should be used as a means to an end, and they don't elaborate further. They just try to give examples of human shields and all that. But I think that by their own logic of how people should be used as a means to an end, I think we still have the principle clash. given that they don't give us any metric for judging how to measure the degree of wronging someone, like to what degree someone is wronged, I guess it's like up to us to kind of assume the metric. So throughout this debate, the metric that we assumed from side of proposition was the metric of bodily autonomy violated. Because they say that since the person's bodily autonomy is violated and their autonomy is violated in many other aspects and they're put in prison, so we believe that these are the metrics, right? How much autonomy of the individual is violated. So, if that is a metric, realize that on their side, when 100 criminals leads to 100 or more victims, or as per our company, I think understand explanation, even several hundred according to our utilitarian arguments, because we show you that this has a cascading effect. The sheer magnitude of bodily autonomy violated, or like autonomy in general violated, is absolutely immense, especially due to how we impacted victim closure and how it can cripple people for years or the rest of their lives, or even lead to lives being lost, which is an absolute loss of bodily autonomy or any kind of autonomy in general, because life is simply just gone. Right? So even if there's a 1% chance the victim was a victim of murder or something like that, we think that it is still right to jail the innocent man, because we simply can't risk that much autonomy being violated in either side of the world. Right? So, all of this is to say that according to their own metric of how autonomy, the amount of autonomy violated is like the metric for judging whether or not we should jail people or not. So, for this reason, we think that according to their own metric, there's less bodily autonomy violated on our side, there's less all kinds of autonomy violated on our side. So, less people in general on our side are used as human shields, because on our side, it's 1% being used as a human shield. On their side, there's 100 or potentially even more people being used as human shields. Right? So, on the own metric of bodily autonomy in general, we think this way. Lastly, I would just like to flag that we gave you a very fleshed out principle of the importance of upholding the criminal justice system and how it operates. And this got zero